Good morning, members of the committee, honorable members of the committee. My name is Angel Godinez Luevano. I am the state director for California LULAC, League of United Latin American Citizens. I thank you for allowing me this time. LULAC has over 700 councils nationwide and over 115,000 members. And National LULAC supports California LULAC in our strong opposition to this bill. One of the things that LULAC is looking for is that we want better end-of-life care. As a previous speaker has indicated, LULAC knows that in our community, and we are not a small segment, we are a large segment of the population, we know that we are the least likely to be insured, most likely to be steered into this option. We do not believe that this is the right way to go. I'll tell you a short story. I, 2 years ago, was with my father, and he passed. Over 4 months, I was with him in the hospital from 6 in the morning till about 10 at night. Took a couple of breaks in between. But he kept saying, I want to live, and if there's treatment, I want to have it. He had diabetes, and they took a vein out of his leg and put it into his heart when he had surgery. He still wanted to live, but the leg was not getting well. And the doctor said, we're going to have to take that leg. And he said, no, I don't want them to take my leg. The hyperbaric treatments seem to be working, notwithstanding that they're painful. So we continued with the hyperbaric treatments. The hospital brought the family in and said, you know, you don't have any more Social Security. You know, the days he's been here too long. He needs to go out, be out 2 weeks, and then he can come back in. And I said, what would you have us do? Put him into the hall? They worked the situation out so that we were able to take him home. We took him home, and the day after we were home, he had a stroke. And he died 2 weeks later. I'm a strong opponent of AB 374. We need better end-of-life care. We need insurance in our community, not assisted suicide.
Earlier, I alleged that choice for the few come at too high a cost for the many. Let me address the many who would be harmed. There will be inevitable pressures from a profit-driven healthcare system. Somebody at our press conference this morning mentioned that if we ignore the inevitable interaction of assisted suicide with the profit-driven nature of our healthcare system today, we are being very naive. Now, through weakening amendment, insurance companies are no longer prohibited from coercing patients by this bill. But even if coercion was prohibited, direct coercion is not the only danger. If patients are denied other healthcare treatment that they need, but which may be expensive, they are being steered indirectly towards assisted death. It won't be a choice, but a phony form of freedom. Disability organizations have been near unanimous in opposing assisted suicide. Your offices have received the long list of these groups, but the bill's backers insist that there will be no impact on people with disabilities. They base this on the flimsy requirement that you can clearly distinguish between who is terminally ill with 6 months to live and all the rest of us who are supposedly ineligible.
I shared with him my great concern that's been haunting me from day one, and that is that in this society, in California and the United States, more often than not, public policy decisions are driven, unfortunately, by money concerns, not by policy concerns. And if, in fact, the power of money were to weigh in on this issue next year, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, would we be able to hold this to simply the terminally ill and suffering? And his answer to me was yes, because of the level of debate that would occur in buildings such as this would prevent the power of money from defining ultimately the the set of circumstances whereby this option would be allowed. In all honesty, that is where Dr. Rich lost me, because I do not hold the same faith that he does. And so where I find myself today is that a decision, a policy that will very difficult to say no to in a terminally ill suffering status runs a great risk because of well-grounded bioethicists in support of broadening it. I struggled from the get-go on terminally ill and suffering because of the hastening of nature's process, but could not resolve that risk that the power of money would ultimately define the parameters. And so with heavy heart today, I will be a no vote on the bill.